going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great day so far. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully you guys had a great start to your week. I did. Last night was awesome. Giant shout out to Team Skeptic for hanging out with us. That was a lot of fun. And thank you everybody for making it a great night. I am paying the price today. I am tired. I stayed up way past my bedtime last night. And yeah, I'm not 18 anymore. Anyways, you guys don't need to hear about that. You guys want to watch some court? I want to watch some court. Let's watch some court. All right, what do we got tonight? We got a bunch of random stuff tonight. We're going to start with Judge Middleton. He's got a funny one. We've got a couple Judge Simpson landlord tenant cases. Then we move on to Judge Caretti, and we finish with Judge Goggins. That's what we're doing tonight. So let's go. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Now let's go.
All right, well, that'll work out. John William Cap. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is file number 25632ST and 633OT. I don't know how half of this got written under state law and half under ordinance. Mr. George is here. He has authority over the ordinance. But Mr. Cap, they charged you with a ticket. With driving with a suspended license, second offense, that's why, because they can't charge that under ordinance. That has
Biggin raid already? I was just on your channel, Biggin. I didn't know that clip was over. Anyways, Biggin, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Raiders. You guys are awesome. You haven't missed anything yet. I've been live for 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and most of that was the intro. So we just started. Don't have to summarize anything. This is Judge Middleton. We got a random court night. So we're jumping everywhere. So yeah, Biggin, you're awesome. Thank you so much for the raid.
to be charged under state statute because it's punishable by up to a year in jail, fine of up to $1,000, and 2 points on your driving record and
Mrs. Biggin, good to see you.
further suspension. This was 11:49 in the morning, and you allegedly had open intox. Wrote ops open container in vehicle. That's why it was split. So that's a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. You've had a lot going on here in the last year or two. Do you wish to plead not guilty to this and you have a lawyer to help you with this?
I'd like to plead not guilty and change of venue.
Change of venue for what?
For the reasons that I have the option.
No, you don't. You get charged with the jurisdiction where it happened. You don't say, I want to change venue and move this to Paw Paw or Allegan or somewhere.
Well, I mean, my attorney has been a judge, and my judge has been, my prosecutor's been my attorney, and
yeah, there is
numerous times over and over, and I feel like it's.
Well, here's an idea. Why don't you quit getting arrested for stuff, and then you wouldn't have to deal with that.
I understand, Your
Honor. But no.
All right, it's kind of funny, but it makes sense. He wants to change of venue because everyone in the courthouse has been his attorney at one point or another, besides the judge. But it's kind of funny. Like the prosecutor's been my defense attorney. This defense attorney has been a prosecutor. I just don't think I'm getting a fair shake here. It's worth an ask. I just love how Judge Middleton handles it. Like, no, you can't just do that. Nice try.
You don't get a change of venue. Do you want me to appoint a lawyer for you or no?
Yeah.
Okay, then you can discuss it with them And if you feel that we should be even if you wanted to disqualify me, they wouldn't change the venue. They'd just get another judge to come here.
Okay.
But you've been paying on your other stuff.
That's right.
Well, you haven't paid since January. That's on the zoning stuff, but aren't you tired of this? I am.
Yes, Your Honor.
Plus you live in Three Rivers. Every time you drive, they're gonna pull you over. I don't know what you got to open intox at 11 o'clock in the morning for. I suspect it was something that was just in there.
Oh, that's optimism right there. You have an open container at 11 a.m. in your car that you're not legally allowed to drive. Optimism, Judge Middleton. I like it, but yeah, if that was left over from the night before, you're getting rid of that. And why is it in his car? Just saying.
But yeah, well, you got a lot of stuff that you owe on. MDOP, you were making payments. You haven't made a payment since last November. I didn't get my cheat sheet this morning. You owe several different things, but maybe we'll have to deal with. Anyway, I don't know anything about this, Mr. Cap, other than what's on the ticket, which ain't much, when and where. But you can discuss the recusal of the judges or whatever motion you have. Oh, here it is.
There it is.
On my face. You have $3,430 worth of unpaid fines and costs.
Is that
Most of which
restitution?
is restitution
Yeah,
in that
okay,
larceny
that's
case.
7 years.
There's 2724 on that. You have a previous driving suspended from 2024 where there's $475 owed, and malicious destruction of property where you owe 175. And then an old zoning violation, which is down to $56. Anyway, like I said, I thought you'd be.
Is that true? I've got so many questions. For one, how does one get antifreeze poisoning? I've heard wild stories about people that used to pour it on their lawn because they didn't like the neighbor's dogs going to the bathroom on it. But that's animals. How does a human being get? I guess I shouldn't ask questions I don't want answers to. We're gonna not ask that. But then we have alcohol as the way to fight that. How do you even figure that out? I don't know.
Tired of this. Anyway, 4/22/25. Defendant plead not guilty. Appoint an attorney. Set attorney pretrial for May 30th. At 8:30. You don't have anything in circuit court. That's all taken care of.
I don't know exactly where I'm at. I gotta talk to the guy.
You have a case pending up there, or you're on probation?
No.
You're not on probation.
No.
You have a case pending up there?
I've been trying to take care of, yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Cap, you certainly could use, I know that sometimes you and your attorneys don't always get along, but you need some legal advice here. If you don't like the court appointed one, I guess you can hire one, but you could end up going to jail for this. You keep getting these tickets and you're not paying the tickets that you have. And so it would be beneficial for you to have an attorney. So we'll get you one, see what we want to do. If you want to file any of those motions, you can discuss that with your lawyer. All right, you're good to go.
All right, I apparently opened up a can of worms asking about antifreeze that I did not want. Yeah. Let's just move on from the antifreeze. It wasn't even part of the court clip. Dave, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. The Leave Biggins Basement Fund. I do appreciate it, but I also love being in his basement. It's one of the most comfy places I've ever lived. It's an awesome little area. I just wish he cleaned it a little more often. Uh, Artie Foz, thank you so much for the gifted membership. I appreciate it, and welcome to the new member. Thank you. And Chris, good to see you, Chris. Colin, get a bigger window. That's what we need. We need a bigger window. And he also only opens it like once or twice every 3 or 4 months. So maybe a bigger window, and he just opens it a couple more times a week or a month or whenever. Chris, thank you. Okay, moving on. We are jumping to Judge Simpson's courtroom. We've got a couple landlord-tenant cases. And yeah, when Judge Simpson gets frustrated over a landlord-tenant case, someone's doing something wrong. They should be fast. In and out, in and out, in and out. Not these two. Nope. Let's go.
S&G Holdings versus Michelle Stacy.
Your Honor, the attorney for the plaintiff has
I am ready for it. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, this is a good time to talk about this. For those of you that were not here last night, Team Skeptic is going live for Dineski's next hearing, which is tomorrow, and he invited me on panel, so we're going to be hanging out. So go make sure you're sub to Team Skeptic so we can watch the Lindsay Dineski story continue. I know Skeptic didn't say this last night, or if he did, I don't remember, but it's an old charge. It is a warrant that's been out for a couple years, and I'm not going to say what court it is, what court it's in, because I don't want to give it away. I don't want a lot of people, going live at the same time, which might happen anyways. But it's a warrant that's been out for a while. They found out she was in prison, and she's being arraigned tomorrow. So that's happening tomorrow. It's the arraignment is scheduled for 1 or 1:30. I know Skeptic said he was going live around noon, so about an hour before the arraignment starts. So yeah, go sub to Team Skeptic and hang out with us.
been in and out of Zoom. This is an objection to garnishment. He is not currently in.
He's not currently in.
Correct. He apparently has another matter as well.
All right. I'll have to pass it. The attorney on this for the other side is supposedly in Zoom. They were in, but has another court hearing that they're in right now. So then I'll call you back up when they're in. All right. Thank you. Town Center Place versus Jacqueline King. She can have a seat there. All right. This is your motion.
Thanks, Mrs. Bacon. I appreciate it. Yeah, your husband is picky. I think he's trying to get me to leave the basement. But also, he didn't know I was there until I ratted on myself about a month ago. So, yeah. But I appreciate if you open a window a couple times. That's awesome of you.
Your Honor, we request per COD that Ms. King be granted an additional 30 days to move. As per the terms of the COD, her condition was to show that she had been looking for new housing. I provided a letter from Ms. Little from Housing Europe for Seniors showing the properties that she's applied to. Since that letter, she's even applied to even more. She's been accepted at about 3 of them, but she hasn't had her interview yet. And then even after she has her interview, there's no guarantee that the part will be ready in a certain time. And I also filed a response.
So when are her interviews?
Would you mind if Ms. Little comes up?
Yeah. That's fine.
Take the name of the record.
Okay.
So Ms. King has been selected for 3 apartments. And one specifically, she's in the process of an interview. We don't have a date yet because there's still some pending paperwork. It's a really long process to get all of this done in such a short time frame, honestly, to get this happen. And so I would think the interview would be next week or so. She just needs to get down there and get it scheduled. I mean, the apartment that, you know, have the biggest lead on isn't one we really want her to go to, because obviously in this short time frame, she's not gonna get a great option to move into. So it'd be nice if we got her from the others, but we'll probably have to.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Response.
We're asking, you know, for a writ for the additional order of dismissal to be enforced. Part of the additional dismissal order was that she paid rent, she paid full rent, she paid time rent. And we've informed her, as you see in the answer, of.
Oh, all good, all good. I appreciate the heads up. Yeah, if you ever get a tip on anything, always let me know. Even if you think I know it. I don't know everything. I can't be everywhere. So yeah, I do appreciate anybody giving me court cases that are going on.
She recertified, her rental increase went up to $270 a month, and she's still been paying $247. So she owes currently $79. And she was supposed to pay on time, full amount of rent stated in the conditional dismissal. She has not. She's been informed that she had been paid by a letter that had been paid less both times, and she has not submitted any extra money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your Honor, the letter that plaintiff added, submitted with their answer is not the letter that they seem to have removed all of the hat payments and Ms. King's credit, and produced this ledger that they claim is what she has paid. However, I've asked on more than one occasion for a complete ledger. This ledger starts in April of 2020. Ms. King has lived at Town Center for at least 8 years, and she's been in this new apartment for.
When was she recertified?
She was recertified.
I think it's in April or March.
It was January 16th, 2025.
January of this year.
Yes.
The effective date was March 1st, 2025.
Of the rent. So it's March and April. That
And
Go ahead. Your Honor, as part of the terms of the consent order for conditional dismissal, we were to wipe her ledger as
I recall.
We did that. So before that date, shouldn't be in controversy here.
Well, that's what I was curious about.
Your Honor, the reason it's in controversy is because they wiped her account.
Yeah, I will I will make sure I try my best. He is in this a couple times, but walking back and forth. But yeah, when I don't know, he used to have his own camera that it always panned to him, but I think they might have fixed that. Yeah, we don't get the buffalo cam anymore.
And included her February's payment, supposed to be February 7th, and they wiped her credit. Now, what my understanding of wiping her account was to remove the charges that she had since.
She was to zero out, that's what was supposed to happen.
Okay. So she gets zeroed out the credit that she has and the payment that she made for February? Because if you look back to prior to them filing this case, she had been paying $200.
I'm not relitigating the case.
Okay, well, Your Honor, the COD says that she abide by the terms of the lease. This is subsidized housing. Paying rent late, which she didn't do because she paid on the 5th, and they didn't process it until the 6th. And not paying the full amount of rent is not a eviction cause for subsidized housing. They are required to offer payment arrangements. The goal is for subsidized housing.
She entered into a COD that she was going to pay her rent timely.
No, COD says she would not violate her lease. This is not a non-payment of rent case, never has been. This
Does
is-
she have the 79?
Yes, Your Honor, she has $79.
Then why are we arguing? Why doesn't she pay it?
Because she has credit on her account, Your Honor. It's not fair for them to keep the credit, and they reverse the half payment at a different
All right.
time. And
This-
it's not a
this is-
violation-
this is-
it's not a violation
This is
of the lease.
ridiculous.
Exactly.
No, it is simply what your argument is ridiculous.
Okay.
Because what I'm gonna do is she was to abide by the terms. She has to pay her rent on time, got her account zeroed out, gave time for her to find new housing, gave an opportunity to then come before the court and ask for additional time if she showed that she was doing that and complying with the COD. She's not in compliance with the COD. I'm gonna deny the motion to extend the time.
Your Honor, thank you. Yeah, how is she not in compliance with the COD? It doesn't specifically say that she has to pay her rent one time.
It
or the
does.
full amount. It does.
It does.
It has,
Second
it has
time.
things for late payments. It has other things that if you go to paragraph 23 or whatever, it lists the things that you can terminate. Do you have?
You sign, I'm sorry. Your Honor,
Yes.
the second line from the last line says defendant will pay March and April rent at normal time. Your signature is right here.
And she paid on the 5th.
She did not pay her full rent, ma'am.
Okay, but she paid on the 5th.
She didn't pay her full rent. We can go round and round in circles. Motion denied. Motion denied. I'm not going around and round in circles on this.
So Your Honor, we'll submit a writ.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He does. He really does. See, and he got a shot at the buff lift right there at the end. Yeah, that one. Yeah, you know what? I'm not even gonna comment on that one. We'll do the next one. We have back-to-back Judge Simpson clips. This next one is a little bit longer, but not really. It's only about 10 minutes long. So we're in and out with Judge Simpson tonight.
Court does call the case of Sycamore versus P.
Thursday, 67390. I do appreciate you putting this at 11 and being able to make it.
Not a pro. Not a pro.
I appreciate that as well, Your Honor. That's
Oh, you were just trying to tag on. No.
Jill Bauer. Jill Bauer on behalf of Ms. P, who is present, I'm from Legal Services, P number 69260. I do want to let the court know Ms. P was assaulted this morning
Oh, I'm sorry.
by a near stranger and is
That's
definitely want to be here.
Understood.
She's not feeling the best.
all right. Okay, this is your request.
Your Honor, first of all, I would never want the court to think that I essentially misled the court, so I did lose track of the order that Ms. Newman highlighted in her answer. However, I do think that the order is subject to interpretation. And it does say that my client would remove any and all belongings, and I think the definition of belongings tends to be smaller personal items that can be easily moved. At this point, the other thing is, we had a discussion on record of Ms. P back in January of.
Styron turned around. He was really, he was the sovereign citizen that transformed. He stopped being a sovereign citizen after about a week in jail. So I think his first 2 appearances were bad, and then they got along fine. So jail scared the sovereign citizen out of Thomas Styron. I wonder how he's doing. I think his case got moved to circuit court, and I stopped following it, so I have no idea what's going on with him anymore.
Our request that Ms. P be able to move her items to a part of the house where they wouldn't interfere with the repairs. And it was represented at that time that there was structural damage to the unit. However, I reviewed the fire report. It doesn't say anything about structural damage, and now that a lot of the
He currently has a felony warrant out for his arrest for not appearing to court. His last court appearance was supposed to be, it was either last week or the week before. I don't remember the exact date. He filed a motion to be able to appear by Zoom. That was denied, and he didn't show. So they put a warrant out for his arrest. And to the best of my knowledge, he hasn't been apprehended yet. So that's where we're at with McGill.
The drywall debris has been cleared from the ceiling. I really don't, I mean, I'm not an expert, but I don't see that there was structural damage to the unit. So where we are at this point is.
I think the import of that, I don't mean to interrupt you, was that in essence, there was going to have to be a gutting of this place. And so the issue of whether or not there's actual damage may have to be assessed at some other point, because my understanding was the unit needed to be gutted, which is why things could not remain there.
I just don't think that that's accurate at this point, that it actually had to be completely gutted. But I just wanted to, where we are at this point, Ms. P went in, she removed what she could into 2 vehicles that were in the parking lot. And then those vehicles were recently towed and she wasn't able to get any of those belongings. So now she's down to.
What do you mean?
She had 2 vehicles that were parked outside of her unit at Sycamore and they towed them. And all, those vehicles had all of the belongings that she was able to salvage. So she's down to a few items that remain in her unit that she doesn't have the finances or ability to move, and she would like them to remain in the basement. And it's a washer and a dryer, an air conditioner, and 2 barbecue grills. Is what she's asking to store there while the repairs are made.
So my problem here is this. As we were working through this case, and why the order reads the way that it is, was to give Ms. P time to get her things out of the unit. And I'll be honest with you, and I don't think you're trying to mislead the court or anything. I mean, people, there's a lot of orders that fly around here, so I'm not thinking that at all. But she's got to get the things out. I mean, that's kind of where we were trying to.
Eric Martin still has a warrant out for him in Judge Washington's courtroom. And for whatever reason, when he was in jail in Judge Slavin's courtroom, they never picked him up on it for Judge Washington. So I have no idea. But, I still watch the arraignments every single day. And what is it, 34? No, whatever Judge Washington's courtroom number is. I watch them every day, hoping that Eric Martin just happened to be picked up. But, yeah, well, so we haven't seen the end of them.
Figure out how that would come about. And I mean, the date and the timing of everything, if you recall, I think we went through that 2 or 3 times to try to get that done. One time where there was sort of a ruling from the bench, but there wasn't an order, and then that didn't happen. And then we had to come back and try to deal with it again. And now I'm here again. Yes.
And I would like the court to know, every time I've been asked from opposing counsel for her, whether it.
I've got a new subset that I picked up today. Hold on. Let me start this sentence over, because those words did not make sense. It didn't air until about 4:00. So I don't release videos. I rarely do release videos, after 5 or 5:30. So I'm saving it for tomorrow. But if you guys are nice, I'll tease it at the end and show you what I have so far. You guys have to be nice, act nicely in the chat, and I'll give you guys a little taste of it.
If we go back to the date that you ordered, which was, I believe, February 6th, Ms. P didn't show up until 4:00 to remove the items, and office closed at 4:30. I received an email 2 weeks later from opposing counsel. We gave her that entire day to do it. She took what she wanted. I just want to address the cars. The cars were inoperable. HUD actually sent my finding, and it's in my brief. It's in my motion, the copy of the email. HUD made Sycamore tag them. They were inoperable. The day they were tagged on Friday, they were not moved until Tuesday. Council knew about it. As soon as they were removed, I got for council a copy of where the towing company and where they were at, so she could go get her stuff. I feel like we bent over backwards to give her time. Then I had a message about the washer and dryer that she didn't want to lose that. I got my client to agree to give her 7 days to do it. Then last Friday, the time frame came and went, and she never came and got it. This is not Sycamore has bent over backwards to give Ms. P the opportunity to get her things. And here we are again, and we're asking for it again. And last week when council reached out to me, I said, get it done by Monday. Because I told my client, hold off. You can see it in the emails from my client. We're holding off. And here we are, we're asking for more time. It's been 4 months, 5 months.
Your Honor, the reality is that Ms. P is in this situation because she's living in poverty. She doesn't have the resources to move or store these items. She tried to get a storage unit. They wouldn't rent her because she doesn't have a debit card. I mean, she has done nothing wrong. And she's basically too poor to take advantage of the opportunity to move and store these items. And I just don't know why they can't remain in the basement while the unit is being repaired. There's no damage to the floor on the first floor. If you look, there's minimal damage to the structure of the ceiling on between the first and second floor. I brought pictures that shows no burning into the wooden structures between the 2 floors. So I don't know why they would be in the way if they remain in the basement while they repair.
The email from HUD is very clear. The cars needed to be removed. The property needs to be trashed out. My client is doing what they're being told to do at this point.
And if we just look at it just on a whole other angle, but I mean, I'm not even there necessarily, but Ms. Bauer, if the property were to remain there and something happened to the property, whose responsibility would it be?
I haven't discussed if my client is willing to waive unintentional, or as long as it's not intentional damage.
Well, but see, that's where that's where the problem comes in. I mean, if somebody, and I'm not even saying that it really by order is reflective of this, but even if the property was there and then we get into and somehow gets damaged, which can happen when people are doing construction. I mean, it can just happen. But then you get into all this litigation and hearings about, was it intentional? Was it this? Was it this? They didn't put it in a safe spot. So really, Sycamore or their contractors, I mean, you get into a whole bunch of other issues.
I've been to Tottenham. I've been to Tottenham a few times. I've probably spent a total of 3 months in Tottenham. It's yeah, I liked it. It was fun.
Which all can be avoided if the property is not there. We don't have that issue. I'm sure that's one of the reasons HUD is saying you got to get everything out. We're not, looking for Sycamore or HUD or anybody else to, or any contractor we hire to be placed in a situation of trying to be the guarantor of the safety of somebody's property.
Well, Your Honor, she's been homeless for 6 months now, and the repairs really haven't begun. There's been some clean out. I mean, even if they would let her move them into a unoccupied unit or something, she just does not have the resources to store them.
I know, but you're asking the landlord to assume basically to bail these this property.
Yes, that's where I'm talking about. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but that's what I was talking about.
Which with that comes certain responsibilities for the landlord. I don't know under what possible theory I would ask the landlord to do something. To care for somebody's property. I mean, it's not their business. It's not what they do. And again, just hypothetically, let's say the landlord did put them in some other place on their property, and somebody comes in and like creates some vandalism at that place, destroys the property or damages the property. Who's the one responsible? And that's the problem. To answer your first question, in looking at my order, the intent of that order is that she remove from the premises everything that she wants to keep. That at the point at which if she leaves something, then the landlord's in a position to say it's abandoned, the landlord could get rid of it and do what they need to do in terms of repair.
5 or 6 years ago, probably, is when I was there. I dated someone that lived in Tottenham, so I was there often. But yeah, it was 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Miss P, she's just pretty devastated and was hoping to be able to hold on to those last few things. So that's why.
Right. No, I understand. I understand why you're doing it. I get all of that. Problem is, with the cars, the cars are inoperable. You can't just put them there because ultimately they're going to be taken off the premises. That would happen anyway. So, I don't think.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I wasn't assessing any particular, I wasn't like making a judgment about that. I was just letting the court know that it's been like a domino effect. Like, okay, I want to keep these belongings. These are, my personal belongings, and I can't get a storage unit, so I'm going to put them in these vehicles. And then they were in the vehicles for a while, and it seemed like that was going to be a solution. And then all of a sudden, she finds out, like they may have been tagged before, but she didn't find out immediately that they were tagged. And then suddenly the vehicle, she goes to look for the vehicles and they've been towed. And then she wasn't able to get the belongings out of them. So it's just been a domino effect where she's done nothing wrong. She's just a series of unfortunate events. And now she's lost almost 100% of everything material in her life. So it's just the thought of maybe being able to hold on to those last few items was. Ms. P just wanted the court to know that when she first put her belongings in the vehicles, they were operable. But because she was homeless and they were sitting there, I think one of them, the battery died, and one of them, a tire went flat.
And they become inoperable, which is why then after those, if those are the only two things, they tag them with the thought that whoever has the flat tire or the battery where the vehicle won't move or the like will then come and do what they need to do, either to move the vehicle or to put it back in operate. I mean, so I get that
I think she just wanted you to know that she didn't intentionally leave.
No, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying at some point, this part of it has to end. You know, and Miss Bauer, you know, a lot of folks come before the court with a lot of problems and a lot of issues, and a lot of sort of obstacles to overcome. And I think in trying to get through this, and I have to give Sycamore credit because, you know, they could have just taken a really hard line. They didn't, trying to get this going. I've been patient with what might be scheduling or trying to have her get the stuff out. But, you know, at some point, sadly, we just have to be done.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I'm going to deny your request for any additional time. What is, having said that, then what is Sycamore's intention in terms of they're not intending at this point to let her back in to get her things set?
I mean, I can make it happen. And that was, I've offered multiple times. So if she wants to go get the washer and the dryer and the air conditioner or the grills, she wants to do it by today, I think she can go. I have no problem with that. I've never had a problem with that. I just need her to actually do it.
But she would like a chance to get the grills, but she doesn't have any place to put the washer herself. So can you go today by 4 o'clock today to get those grills? They'll have them. I'm assuming if they're offering for you to get that.
If they're there, I don't know what's there, what's not there. Like I'm just, you're telling me that that's what's there and that she can go.
Well, she saw Sycamore personnel roll the grills to the office.
I asked
And-
them more, and I'm putting on our, they told me they did not do that. But if she wants to go today by 4 o'clock to go get this one. Let's put it on the record. I need to know what time she's going, so I can tell them. So let's.
Yeah, when Judge Simpson goes into that phase or that pose, yeah, he's done. He's ready to go. Guys, wrap it up. Wrap it up. I'm ready to move on to the next case too. I was ready to fast forward this about halfway through, but I know you guys want to see how this ends.
Give me a window.
Okay, so she just wants the court to know she videotaped them moving the grill, and she has talked to someone that said that they're at off. So
You want to know what? I'm done. I'm not going to litigate anymore. I mean, you know, at some point, the problem is everybody is, as we've said, bending over backwards to try to do this. I issued just now denying your motion, which means really we're done. I was looking maybe, and I think Ms. Zany was trying to do the same thing, a bit of compassion to say, okay, if you can get these now, do it, but you got to give us a time. But I'm not going to go through litigating. They took my property. They did this. I'm done. Whatever else anybody else wants to do, you can do it, but you're not doing it with the court sanction. She can, that property at this point, since she has not removed it, is considered abandoned. And that Sycamore may do what they need to do with reference to taking that property out. If you guys work something out without my involvement, do what you got to do. But I'm done.
I do appreciate the court here.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. That one wasn't as exciting as I thought it was when I first watched it. Like I said, I was over it about halfway through. It's like, I want to fast forward. We forgot Phil. Thank you so much, Phil, for the $5 super chat. Just because. I like just because super chats. Thank you so much, Phil. I appreciate it. All right, we're moving on. We need a little bit of excitement. You guys want to see an attorney get yelled at? Let's go. We have Judge Grumpy. This judge is just always
Grab the
grumpy.
deputy, please.
Like, honestly, he's always grumpy. Judge Caretti. Let's go.
Judge, the court can call People versus Travis, time and date set for a walk-in. Defendant failed to appear on 4/18 for a pretrial.
Do the walk-ins later. Diane,
Yes, Judge.
I can't open either one of the walk-ins you sent me. Resend them.
Okay.
Judge, you actually have that file.
Which one?
Travis.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Travis.
Oh, all right, so we'll do this one. I
Okay.
thought it was the two I got on computer, but they're not opening. So with that, appearances on Travis.
Anthony Sorrentino on behalf of the people.
Who's
Mr.
defense
Arm.
counsel, Francesca?
Mr. Arm, Judge.
Mr. Arm? Is he on? Is he muted?
He's on and he frequently does this where he doesn't mute.
He frequently does. I'm going to remind
I'm
him
here,
of that
Judge.
when he finally decides to put his appearance on the record.
Good morning, Judge.
Your appearance.
And,
You broke up. Put your appearance on the record, Mr. Arm.
Daniel Arm on behalf of Ms. Travis.
All right. So, Mr. Arm, my clerk and I are both wondering why virtually every case we call, you never timely put your appearance on the record. What distracts you every court appearance you have in front of me?
So, I'm not sure what you're saying, Judge, but
Well, let me try it again. Every time we call your case, you never put your appearance on the record. You're not on the record. You're on Zoom. You're muted. I have to ask 5 times like I just did for your appearance. I'm just curious. That can happen 1 or 2 times as a matter of course. It happens every time with you. Why?
I don't know.
Well, correct it, Mr. Arm. I'm not going to tolerate it anymore in the future. With that, why did your client not appear for their pretrial last week?
I was surprised myself. I spoke to her the day before. She knew about the timing. I don't know if it was she woke up late or she got confused, but I spoke to her right after the hearing. In fact, I called Francesca within minutes, and she called Francesca within minutes. And by then the warrant went out, so we're asking the warrant to be set aside.
Well, let's ask
I'm
her.
sorry,
Since
that's
you don't know.
incorrect. Judge, I'm sorry, that's completely incorrect.
Oh,
The
please,
warrant was
go
not
ahead,
signed
Francesca.
until the warrant was not signed until yesterday morning. So the warrant did not.
No,
go
I-
right.
No, I
All right. This judicial clerk, I've been watching Judge Caretti for. I only found his court, I don't know, maybe a month or 2 ago, and the judicial clerk constantly puts her own thoughts on the record. I don't know if this is normal in other courts. I don't see it very often. It reminds me of Judge Maribel and his old court coordinator who would always just like yell at him. That's who this kind of reminds me of. I mean, why is she interjecting? I don't know.
didn't mean the warrant. I meant you told me, Francesca, that it was too late to recall the case. A few minutes later. I
Correct. The
understand.
court was closed at noon on Friday, Mr. Arm, as we indicated to you.
I'm not
All right,
challenging
so
that.
Miss Travis, why weren't you in court when you were supposed to on Zoom?
I got the time mixed up, and then at the times it slipped by me. And then
Well, I have a simple solution for that, Miss Travis. I can simply revoke your bond, then you'll reside in the Macomb County Jail, and we don't have to worry about you being on time. We can guarantee you're on time. Do I have to do that in your case?
No.
All right. All right, court will set aside the bench warrant. I'm going to assume, Mr. Sorrentino, you don't have a file in terms of pretrial this morning?
I don't, Judge, and even if I did, I mean, we're not going to do a plea without paperwork, so.
Very true. Thank you. All right, give us a new date, Madam Clerk.
Judge, May 21st at 9:30 via Zoom. Judge, are we also reinstating the bond that was forfeited?
Yes, I'll reinstate the bond. And on May 20th.
That was Judge Maribel. I don't remember the name of his court coordinator. That I don't remember. We all used to know her name, but it was Judge Maribel was the judge.
21st, I'll look forward to your timely appearance on the record when we call your case, Mr. Arm.
Okay.
Judge, the court can call People versus Williams, time.
All right, that was a quick one. I've got back-to-back Judge Caretti though. This next one is funny and frustrating at the same time. You'll see why.
Mr. Rapsky,
Yes.
so I have the plea sheet for Elias. Is this zero tolerance probation? So that's what I wrote on the plea sheet.
Let me double check.
Is this the guy who refused to sign when he first went to probation? And
All right, go ahead, counsel, finish your remarks.
Your Honor, I was making a record that I've been unable to establish meaningful contact with my client. At one point, he told me that he would be a private attorney would be taking over the case. I have been unable to ascertain if he needs a translator or if he's a U.S. citizen. If he's not a U.S. citizen, I've been unable to ask to for a special services of an immigration attorney who could possibly apprise him of, who could definitely apprise him of immigration consequences today's hearings. None of those things have been accomplished, Your Honor. So, and I do not know if he still plans on getting a private attorney.
Judge, I'll shed some light. If you remember, Judge, Mr. Elias's attorney worked out an unbelievable deal in this case because of the immigration consequences. And he has basically done nothing as far as probation's concerned. Over our objection, I think you even reduced the restitution amount at the sentencing. But I believe I have the plea sheet in front of me. When he pled guilty, it was reduced from a home invasion second. There was a rash of break-ins during Chaldean weddings. That's what Mr. Elias was alleged to have done. There was about 10,000 and change worth stolen. His attorney worked out a deal to circumvent some immigration consequences, but with the understanding that there'd be zero tolerance probation. And just looking at the report, I mean, Mr. Elias really, really doesn't care that he's on probation. It looks like he lied about where he lived. He refuses to report. He's not paid a dime of the restitution. So, I mean, I want to hold a hearing and deal with the consequences. He was able to speak English at the sentencing, I guess for safety, just so in case there's an appeal, maybe the request for a interpreter isn't the worst idea, just to CYA, if you will. But I'd like to set for a hearing and promptly.
Judge, I have a comment.
We're gonna likely do the hearing this morning. I have a vivid memory of this case. And counsel, I'd be shocked if there were any immigration consequences. The immigration consequences were with respect to the plea. As Ms. Sorrentino said, his attorney worked out a great deal that I guess eliminated any immigration consequences. We even reduced the restitution amount with that in mind. So, and my memory was his English is excellent, but let's just ask him, Mr. Elias, you read, write, and understand the English language, don't you?
Judge, if I may.
Anna. Good morning. How are you today?
I asked you a question, Mr. Elias. In 1 minute, Francesca, please.
I can't hear you, Anna.
Well, you read, write, and understand the English language, don't you?
No, I didn't understand because my English I talk a few like Arabic or Chaldean.
Well, you're speaking very well. You spoke very well at your when you took the plea and when I sentenced you, right?
Yes, Anna. It's like I don't know exactly what did you need about it, Like I speak a little bit, not too much, Was my lawyer Suzanne Gabara?
Yes, that was.
All right, I'm gonna say this, and I could be way off in this opinion, but saying like the way he did, I think that's a very English thing to do, as in the United States. We say like way too much, and him just using that word the way he did tells me that he completely understands what's going on. Like, I mean, like he understands it, like correct, right? Like,
Your pride.
what are we hitting one for? what was put a one in oh legal fiction.
Yeah, already I pay for this pay you're talking about.
Well, where is she?
I pay like $500, and then I have here and everything by me. Okay, so if you want, like, I call my attorney talking to you, or if you have somebody talk English, Arabic, or Chaldean.
Judge, I have something to add.
Your English is excellent, sir, but hold on. Go ahead, Francesca, please.
Judge, when I checked in Mr. Elias, when he was arraigned on this warrant, I did see the previous interpreter that was appointed on this case. I did ask Mr. Elias if he could understand and if he needed an interpreter, and he said no, he did not, and that he understood.
All right. So we'll get him an interpreter. Give me a new date, Madam Clerk. Counsel, you're continuing, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, but it's unclear to me whether he just said he is getting his own, he's retaining an attorney for this case.
He implied that. Are you retaining Ms. Gabara again to represent you at your upcoming hearing, sir?
Yeah, I don't have no problem. The missus called me already.
So here's what we're gonna do. You retain her, have her file the appearance. When that appearance comes in, I would discharge you, but as of now, you're required to be at the hearing, counsel.
No, because Anna already I have one, you know. So
Yeah, all right. That's all.
him.
Call the next case, Francesca.
Judge, new date
Thank you
would
so
be
much, Anna.
new date would be May 20th at 9:30 via Zoom.
You understand that, Mr. Elias? May 20th, you have to be
Your
back.
Honor, I'm not
on Zoom.
available.
May 20?
Your Honor,
All right,
unfortunately,
Anna.
I'm in another circuit court that day, Your Honor.
Give him another date.
May 22nd at 9:30.
May 22nd, 9:30?
Correct.
Yes.
Can we do the-
And
Thank you so much,
if you're
Anna.
gonna retain Ms. Gabara, make sure you do it before then and tell her she has to be there.
Can we do
Of
it
course.
the week after, Madam Clerk? Because I might not be here and I want to be here for this since I handled this case.
Well, is that the first week or the second week of your conflict, Mr. Sorrentino?
That would be the quarterfinals, which I made last year, Judge. So it's not impossible.
I guess. Go ahead.
Wait, then that takes us to the 29th?
That takes us to the 29th.
Is there any, oh, gosh.
Well, any
So
day
we
that
can
week
schedule
works
it for
for
May
me.
13th. I can,
Yeah, I'm here.
Which day?
May 13th.
That works for me.
May 13th at 9:30. Mr. Elias, did you get that date?
Yeah, May 13
At 9:30, and have your
at
attorney call me.
9:30. All right.
Have
Thank
your
you
And
attorney
so
make
much.
call
sure
the
we
court.
have an interpreter, please, Francesca.
Will do, Judge. Judge,
Okay,
the court-
I just want to be clear that if he doesn't, he said, I have, Mr. Elias, I have to prepare for this hearing. You must contact me if you're not going to get another attorney, or we have to go that day.
All right, call the next case.
People versus Kula, time and date set for a pretrial and a
Oh man, that attorney was not happy. Just her hand motions right at the end. She wanted a response from Mr. Elias, and yeah, she didn't get one. Call the next case. All right, we are moving to the last case of the evening, and for those of you that are on my Discord server, you saw a picture of this, and I just had to play it. I had to play the clip. It's nothing special, but it's kind of funny. And I'll say the same thing I said in Discord is I don't like making fun of people for things they can't control, such as names. But you know, I really hope. Hold on, I gotta.
And then I'll just make a note.
So the guy in the top middle, look at his name. You know, I really hope you guys had your daily dose of shit right today, because you know sometimes you just gotta shit right. Just saying.
It's been settled then for everybody.
Sounds good.
All right.
No, it's early.
Yeah, yeah, you're doing pretty. Yeah, you're not gonna know what to do.
I know.
Thanks, Ken.
Bye,
Bye.
Kathy.
How about let's see, Aaron or Aaron Shitra?
Yes.
I know we just talked, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I know it's difficult name. I know.
Well, it shouldn't be that bad, but it is for some reason for me. How about Terrence Fields? Looking for Terrence Fields. Anybody? Terrence Fields? Nobody? Let's see what kind of service I do have personal service on this matter. No.
I'm here, Judge. I just couldn't get my phone to unmute.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you got in there then. Mr. Fields, do you wish to speak with legal services?
No.
No, just want to proceed?
Yes.
Okay. Citra, why don't you raise your right hand there for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and tell me what property it is and how much is owed, and go from there.
He don't hold money. He need to pay only April, but I need a property. I don't take him out because I need money. I need a property.
Oh, it's a turn. Yep, I'm sorry. It's a termination.
Yes, because the owner wants. Yes, the owner want to sell the property, and I need the property to fix, to clean. I give him a notice, 30 days. I give him a lot of notice to leave the property in tax. I need the property.
Okay, and let's see. Was there a written lease agreement at some point?
Say again, please.
Was there a written lease agreement?
Yes.
There was. When did it terminate? When was the last? I'm sorry. When did it
It's 1 month.
expire?
The lease is not expired. It's every month. But I give them to.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a month to month.
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
But Your Honor, my lease does not say month to month. It's a year lease. He wrote it from a year lease, so it's not a month to month lease.
If his year lease is done.
Where's the do I have a copy of the lease here somewhere?
No, I don't think so.
And I'm not at home, and I wish I'd have brought it with me.
Okay. Can somebody
Mark.
get it? Well, I can't. I'm not going to do that. Sir,
No, no.
If you could, can you email it over to me?
Oh, this is difficult with my election. But the lease is March 5th, 24.
Yeah, no, I understand, but I need a copy of it to even.
The lease is done, but.
Well, he's saying it's not.
This is the lease.
I understand. I need to have it in my hand so I can take a look at it. So let's best I can do is just adjourn it to. Are we here next week? Got to be. Am I? Yeah. Well, let's adjourn it for a week, and that'll give Mr. Fields a chance. If he's going to talk to an attorney, he can do that too.
Yes.
April 29th at same time, 9:30. And sir, if you can come either drop it off at the court for me, a copy of it.
Yes.
Yeah,
no
that'll
problem.
work.
Yes.
So we'll do that. And sir, you don't want to speak with legal services?
Actually, I do.
Okay, as long as you.
I have the number already. You gave me the number last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gave it to us last week.
Okay, so let's do that. We'll see you back here April 29th at 9:30, everybody. And just get a copy of that lease agreement to me.
Oh, just wait. There's more about to be unraveled in this case. I thought the same thing as you guys, but hold your judgment for a second. Just wait.
So we can just go through.
So
all right.
I can ask you a question?
You can next week. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Sorry, I got another one for you. I've got.
He got off.
I guess I'm adjourning both of them for him.
Yes, because he got off.
If I got,
remember we talked to you last week, Judge. Remember he wasn't on there, and we was the last two. The guy that you about to talk to now, Darche, was the last ones on there.
Oh, that's okay. So and that's you two with the Jessica. Jessica,
yeah.
It says Jackson.
Yeah, that's us.
You know what? You're in the same boat, anyways. I guess if
so I do have one question about that because when they did
not
they
the
lease,
owner. That's weird.
yes, I don't get it. Like, how can he do that if he's not even the owner
Well,
of the property?
you got to bear with me. For one thing, I don't have the lease in front of me, and the other is he's got to be online for me to. I just can't give you
Okay.
legal advice. Okay, so
No, right.
I guess for everybody, let's just put everybody on the same date. And
Yes.
if I'm sorry, is it Dalsh?
Okay.
Dowshay.
Dalshay? I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time every time I read the letters.
Fine.
And Jessica, if just to help me out.
Yeah, the audio starts really messing up here at the end, guys. I do apologize for that. I wanted to keep this in, but it goes up and down, and then yeah, you'll see.
If you could get your lease agreement for me too, if you got it, because he's going to show up and he won't have it, and I'll end up doing. I don't know what I'll do. We'll see what I do.
Yes.
Okay. If you want to talk to legal services though, you can do that too. You got to you might as well do it if you're going to.
Yeah, I was gonna wait, but I'm gonna try to do it today to try to get ahead of it because it's all weird to me.
Okay, for everybody, that's the best I can tell you right now. So as long as we got the number for legal services, I'll see everybody be back here next week. Okay.
Okay.
Same
Thank
time.
you.
All right,
Thank
guys. All right. Bye.
All right. Yep, that's it. That's it. We had to suffer through that audio at the very end. But yeah, the guy's not even the owner. He's filing eviction paperwork, not the owner. Hopefully we actually hear the whole story next week because something seems off with this. Especially that both these tenants seem to, they've become friends over this. Like, yeah, this guy's weird. This doesn't seem right. So we'll see. They're on month-to-month tenancies. I guess their lease is over. I don't know. We'll find out next week. All right. I promised you guys a taste of the Sovereign Citizen clip, and I do want to hold my promise, so I'll show you a little bit of it. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because, hold on, let me get it loaded. What's going on? All right. Skip this really long intro that we don't need to see. Okay. So I'm working on the audio right now. Right. First thing you notice, this soft sit is extremely tall, and he's very far away from the mic. His voice kind of comes through muffled. I'm trying to clean it up, which is why I didn't one of the reasons why I didn't put it out today when it happened. Also, I don't have my watermark on there, and for everybody that complained that I put my watermark on there when I covered this court last time, I had a video stolen, and somebody put their logo right on top of my watermark. So that's why the watermark's there, because that's what happens. And now I got to figure out somewhere else to put the watermark because that one was easy to cover up. That's why. This court is very hard to find. It's not on YouTube, so when I get a unique video, I don't want it just stolen from my channel and put on and used somewhere else right away. I don't mind if people use it, but let me get a day or two with views before you steal it. That's all I ask, and then you can use it. All right. Yeah, I know, Shane. You know as well. Yeah, it happens. So, I mean, this took a while. So, Miss Orchid Blooms, giant shout out to her for introducing me to this court. But it's just you sit here all day waiting for the soft sit. So, the first appearance happened yesterday. The guy got kicked out of court because he wouldn't identify himself. Here, I'll actually show you that we'll watch a little bit of the first part. And then he came back today. So I was sitting there for like 3 hours waiting for his case to be called. And because it's not on YouTube, I have to be physically watching it, waiting for his case. And that takes away from everything else I'm doing to try to get a soft sit. So when it's stolen, it hurts. It hurts. I feel it. Okay, hold on. Let's watch this a little bit.
You asked me a question, I'm answering it. Okay, I don't want you to answer it anymore. I want a yes or no answer to a question, okay? And the question is, and I have to get the case back in front of me, I'm sorry, but bear with me. Lost my calendar. I have a simple question for you.
25 CF.
You say that like you've seen this before. Have you seen this already? There is absolutely no way that you've seen this already. No way. If you have, you got to let me know what channel is also watching this court, because I don't think anyone else is.
F939.
This
Are you
organ
Anthony
absolutely
Griffin with
had it.
a date of birth of August 20th, 1985?
I am not the dead entity Anthony Griffin. I am the executor of the estate. I do not agree to be.
All right, well, we'll have to set this over and hold you in custody then until we can have a later.
I will check, as I've been held for 72 hours without seeing the judge. That is unlawful.
But you're not Anthony Griffin.
So you are agreeing to violate my common law rights. Is that what you're saying?
I'm asking you to, let's do this. Okay. I'm going to find probable cause that this is Mr. Griffin, that is acting in an obstructing way, but we'll go ahead with it. Do you have a copy of the complaint there in front of you?
I object that you're obstructing my justice.
Your objection is noted.
This happened yesterday. Part 1 happened yesterday. Part 2 happened today. So there was. I wonder if you guys are thinking of the channel that stole this court from me, or maybe you guys saw it on my channel. But I covered this court last week, but it was a different sovereign citizen. It wasn't the same guy. You saw this last night? Where did you see it? Because last night would have made sense. If you saw part 1 last night, man. Now it's not unique. I thought it was unique to me. All right, let's continue watching. We'll watch him get kicked out.
More. You have.
If you keep talking over me, we're going to cancel this.
Talking over me. I just want to state the facts. Do you not want the facts to be stated on the case? Am I not allowed?
You're not allowed. No, you're not allowed to talk about
an attorney. I am not.
Okay, let's hold him in custody or canceling this hearing. You're going to have to be held. You're not going to cooperate. Make a record
show that you're violating my rights. Let the record show that, please. Thank you.
I mean, dude's so tall, his pants don't even fit him. He's got high waters for jail pants. Oh yeah, I mean, it's totally possible he did. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the only one that has access to this court. I'm just saying it's a hard court to find. So if someone else is watching, I just didn't know. I haven't seen it on any other channel yet. All right, we'll skip. We'll play a little bit of today's. Hold on. He gets the whole script on the record today. I'm trying. Let's rewind it a little.
I am the power of attorney for him. I do have a question for the court. Will I be allowed to speak freely, or will my civil rights be again granted?
All right, you can hear how muffled it is. That I need to clean that up. I'm gonna clean it up for release tomorrow. Hopefully, I can. I turned the volume up, hoping it would help, but I feel like all it did was muffled it worse. So yeah, everyone sounds clear in this court except this guy, and I honestly think it's because he's so tall and so far away from the microphone.
Oh, you're going to make a statement on bail, but we're going to do this in an orderly fashion. But you're indicating that you're not Mr. Griffin, or that's just not how you identify yourself.
It's not about me identifying myself. Anthony Griffin carries my all caps entity with the dead entity. I actually have an EIN name for this created entity. This is not me. I also do not live this address. I'm also not a black man. I am on board. So a lot of things on here are totally wrong, which cannot be at all. My weight is not 240 pounds. All this information is false. But as for the record.
Yeah, he just said I'm not a black man, I'm a Moor. So he's claiming to be a Moorish sovereign citizen.
All statements for the record comes now the living man and the other Griffin family, ensuring there is appropriate son status, appearing expressly to continue to arrest accordingly. I'm not to be mistaken with the all caps estate, as I am the occupant of the executive office and also the sole beneficiary of the state. I filed my power of attorney with the court, and I'm ready to proceed. Let the record show that I do not agree to be a surety for the dead entity as it was created from the state and was given to me, and is not a representation of me. I am not one who owes debt to the United States or to the state of Wisconsin. Further, I'm not a flight risk. The only reason I was supported would be the failure to notify me of said date. Furthermore, upon being detained, I made it very clear to Officer Gilson that I wanted my rights read to me. Officer Gilson first refused after he asked me twice more than he read me my rights. After Officer Gilson read me my rights.
Oh, he does. He does. He did it in part 1. Like I said, because I jumped around a little bit, you missed it. But he did challenge jurisdiction in part 1. I feel like he does bring that up in this one too. I believe he does. All right, I'm gonna just skip to the end. I don't want to play too much of this, and like I said, my watermark's on here. I don't want to be edited out and someone taking it from me. All right, I'm gonna let the rest of this just play out. So I'm gonna just hit play and dip. My outro is already put on it. Let me set up where we're gonna raid tonight. It's probably gonna be Lone Wolf, but let's just look. Redirect. Yep, we'll head to Lone Wolf. All right. So we're redirecting to Lone Wolf. Like I said, I'll let the last 30 seconds of this play, and then you'll get my outro. So this will just be the exit. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Biggin, for the raid. Thank you guys for the super chats, the membership milestones, the gifted memberships. You guys are awesome. Yeah, look for this to drop tomorrow. I'm gonna do my best to clean up the audio. I'm not very good at it, so generally when I say clean up the audio, I normalize it and turn the volume up and down. But hopefully, I can do something for this. I will do a little research. I'm guessing there's a tool out there that'll clean it up for me. Hopefully, yeah. Another check out Team Skeptics channel. We're gonna be going live for the Lindsay Dineski case tomorrow. So yeah, absolutely. Go sub to him if you're not. You guys probably are all sub to him. I would expect I think everyone's sub to him. It's like saying, telling people to go sub to, I don't know, Law Talk with Mike. Everyone's already sub to him. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow on his stream. If not, I will see you tomorrow night. And yeah, like I said, look for this to be released tomorrow. For better or worse, I'm gonna try to clean up the audio. It might not be a possibility, but I will try. You guys are awesome. And until next time, bye.
Not to say, I know her not, so I don't understand what's going on.
All right, well, it looks like they mailed notice to the address that you had on file at the time.
So,
but you're gonna have to take that up with Judge Highland. That case is not before me. Looks like he's issued a body-only warrant. You can't get released on that until you have a hearing with Judge Highland in that case. I think given the history, $1,000 cash bail is necessary. I will set that.
I object. It's clear that human rights have been violated and you're still moving forward. This is called an obstruction of justice.
Don't believe that your rights have been violated.
Everything that I've said.
It's all being recorded, Mr. Griffin. You would have the right to a preliminary hearing in 10 days. Do you want that scheduled?
Well, I don't want to sit in jail any longer.
Okay, well, you're going to have to get a hearing in front of Judge Highland on the other case. Right now, you're not allowed to post any cash bail to get released in that particular case. I don't have any of that.
So if you don't have authority, then
you're going to have to address
I object
that
if you don't have authority to actually set me a bail. You do not have authority over me. Matter of fact, Your Honor, are you responsible for me if something happens to me?
All right, and I'll also order that you not use or possess dangerous weapons as it's defined by the state statute.
Responsible for
and because I haven't heard a response, I don't believe we have a waiver of time limit to set a time for
responsible for me if something happens.
And we are adjourned.
Since you're not responsible for me if something happens to me, let the record show that you are not. Bad.